Willie D live.
What's up, family? Afroman had his home illegally raided by the police. So, Afroman, being a rapper, did what rappers typically do. He chronicled the events in a song. He talked about these guys. They, in turn, sued him. Well, Afroman just came out on top. The suit was dismissed. It was ruled in his favor that he had a right to actually say what he said on that record. I ain't got no problem with that. But I tell you who has a problem. There are people out there who has a problem with Afroman after he went on Roland Martin's show and stumbled on his position about Trump. He was asked flat out by Roland, "Are you a Trump supporter?" And he was like, he did not just flat out say, "No, I'm not a Trump supporter," but he did also confirm that he did not vote for Trump. Now, what caught a lot of people off guard, what was alarming to a lot of people about his comments was that he said that, he's a player, and he don't have any enemies. He said, "I get money." He said, "I'm against all of the anti-Black stuff that he do, but I can stand with him on the restroom stuff," talking about men going into women's restrooms, the trans thing. So that was a big deal. People say, okay, so you are against, one minority group being discriminated against, but not the other, right? So you got that. Then he said, "I'm about my money. I'm about getting money. But he said, I'm going to paraphrase this. Basically, he was saying that for him, the straw that broke the camel's back to not support Trump or not vote for Trump was Trump saying that he was going to give police officers absolute immunity, 100% immunity. No more just qualified immunity, but no matter what they do, who they kill, illegally, they get off. Even if they was high and they just thought you kill somebody, even if they accidentally kill you, if they pistol whip you, then torture you or whatever, you get just automatic, they just say, "Hey man, we're gonna let you ride." So people have a problem with that. I think the biggest problem was the stuttering, like the not like if you're gonna be a Trump supporter, I think it's like, hey, stand on it. Now, I see his position. I've seen a number of guys who move like he moved. These guys, they say that they maintain their conservative identity by prioritizing traditional party principles such as free market, fiscal restraint, and conventional foreign policy over the populist nationalist American first agenda that Trump has, right? Here's the thing that a lot of people can't get past, because like this guy, Afroman, and all the rest of y'all too, I got some conservative views. You got conservative views. None of us are one way. None of us. We're not just all this. Nobody's all liberal or all conservative. Even when conservatives say that they're conservative and they hate liberals, they have some liberal ways. They do have liberal ways, especially when it comes to the LGBTQ community. They just hide it because they know that's part of their platform. Part of their platform is acting like they hate the LGBTQ community, even though many of them, and I mean many of them, millions, are themselves part of that community. So the biggest thing that make most Black people be against Trump is the fact that the Republican Party makes the KKK, white nationalists, Nazis, and all of these people comfortable in their party. They're very welcoming and accommodating to these type of people, right? Now, the Democrats, many of them, they're also racist, but they don't outwardly show how accommodating they are, because I want you to think about this. Some of us, or many of us who are Black and, brown people, we have white friends, right? How many times have you heard your white friend speak down on the KKK? How many times have you heard your white friends speak down on white nationalists? How many times have you heard your white friends speak down on these neo-Nazis and all of this type of stuff? Any of these like extremist type groups, how many times have they said those guys need to die? They got to go. They're horrible. They don't say nothing. They don't say nothing. So think about that. Why do they not say anything? Because they're very vocal when it comes to, like, let's say Trump. Like, many like white liberals are very vocal when it comes to Trump. They'll tell you, I hate that guy. I don't like that guy. He got to go. He has to go. He should die. Everything, but they have never said that the KKK, they've never been that passionate about the KKK being done with, right? They never are that passionate about neo-Nazis and these white nationalists, and none of them. They've never said that about those groups. Why? Why? See, I can't even go all up in it, fam, because if I do, then, I might get flagged or something like that. But read between the lines, fam. You ought to know this answer, really. You should know the answer. But I know guys like Afroman. I know Black guys who get a lot of money, and they think because they get a lot of money, they have to be Republican. Like Martin, Martin said, I know plenty of Democrats who got a lot of money. I know plenty of millionaire and billionaire Democrats. Well, I don't know plenty of billionaires, but I know plenty of millionaires. I know a few billionaires personally. I'm saying personally, not just know of, but I'm talking about personally. I know personally a few billionaires, Black Democrats, and I know many millionaire Democrats. So to think that you can only have money if you are a Republican is naive and uninformed, right? Because like I said, I know a number of Black guys who stand on business when it comes to saying that they support Trump, or they won't say they support Trump, but they show you they support him by sharing information about Trump, affirmative information about Trump, positive information about Trump, and negative information about Democrats, right? And they're always in the comment section fighting people about, their views on politics when it comes to the Democrats or the Republicans. They are quick to defend Republican policy or to criticize Democratic policy. If you say something about Trump, they're the first ones jumping into the comments talking about, well, what about Obama? What about Obama? What about Biden? They are quick to do that. So I know a lot of guys that do that take his position, and they think that means I get money. I got a lot of money, so I gotta support Trump. Well, I got a lot of money, and I ain't never gonna support that sucker in life, ever. I ain't never gonna support him. Never, ever. Yeah, never. I might support a Republican like McCain, you know what I'm saying? But McCain was a maverick. He's like, one in a million, but, and then the same, but, fam, you know how these Democrats and these Republicans are. They're all in a club, it's one big club. And as George Carlin said, you ain't in it. And I ain't in it either. And guess what? I don't even want to be in it because it's vile, it's diabolical. Yeah, fam. All money ain't good money. Well, what say you, fam? Drop a comment. I'd love to hear your thoughts. No more talk.